Uh-huh. I have no idea. That is all time.
Testing. Parking lot.
Yeah, well, I mean, it might be right. It would be bad because that was everything he shot today. That'd be my fault. I've never done it before in my life. It's in here somewhere. Because when you gave it to me, I walked straight into the building. Nope. Straight right in here. And I put my... Oh, shoot. That's going to be a problem. One. It's recording, Eric. Hey, it's recording. I'm going to take this thing apart before I leave. I'm hoping it just fell inside here somewhere.
What I love about this microphone, we had some press conference and the two reporters got the presser person off to the side without biting me Italian. I walked over and we got the whole interview.
I walked back outside and got the phone.
Went back to the office, dumped it, sent it to Italian.
It's in here somewhere.
What? Doing okay. How are you doing? I really figured it out yet. I've shot this video before. sign you off for shooting and lumber too.
Something or numbers in today.
Who? John, the guy named, you call him 290, lived over in the Red Road. Yeah, they had his service as military.
Good.
No, I've lost this P2 card. I can't find it. It's in
I
here.
didn't see it hit the ground. So.
No. It's in here somewhere. I mean, I was in here waiting for you.
Oh, you think it's in the?
No, it's in this room.
Oh.
I don't know if someone stepped on it or if it got stuck between chairs.
John Davis.
She's pressers, you should have like I think 2.5.
Well, I think it's important to be here because one, I'm concerned about two, to support everyone. And number three, to
Sit traffic on 501.
issue with the violence.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I just everything's out. Take this whole thing off, but I just because I remember that I had he said I had a P2 card. I had a P2 card. Over here, and I put them down in a chair. And I put the P2 card. I thought I put it right here. So if one of these three seats. Over there. 26 years ago. Never.
Mount Zion. AME.
We've got one other councilman, well, two, but I know one is outside, so as soon as he comes in, we'll get started. Okay. Got some elevator music or something?
I know Star was coming back.
You want to go down the floor? Has anyone heard from George? And Brian's not coming. Started today. Just want to thank you all for coming today for this press conference that the staff, the city council, and myself are now calling and appealing to the community. My beloved community of Florence, today I speak to you not just as mayor, but as a mother, a neighbor, a sister, and a woman deeply moved by the cries echoing through our streets. We are hurting. To those who have lost loved ones, our heart aches with yours. And on behalf of this city, I extend our deepest condolence. We are with you. We are you. And too many of us are picking up guns before picking up wisdom or a vision for our future. The streets are speaking louder than the wisdom in our homes. And this must change. I'm calling for everyone who holds influence in our communities, not just the police, not just the elected, but the respected. Gun violence is not a police problem. It's also a community problem. This problem demands a community solution. So with that being said, to the club owners, you see our young men and women night after night. You know the ones that are headed down the wrong path. Talk to them. Reach out to them. Offer wisdom, mentorship, shelter. Make your space a safe haven and not a battleground. To our drug dealers, our shot callers, our gang leaders, you know the game. You know what it cost. You've seen what a casket looked like with a brother, a sister, or a friend on the inside. I am asking you, with every ounce of hope in my heart, help us to stop this. Use the same power you have to influence to intervene. Pull these young people to the side and speak life to them. If you remember what it felt like to be ignored, to be angry, to feel like no one cared, then you are exactly the ones that they will listen to. To those of you who have been incarcerated, who have walked through the fire and you've come out changed, you have a testimony. Tell it. Share it. Let these young people know prison is not power and death is not a destiny. They need your voices now more than ever. To our faith leaders, and I must say, I applaud the faith leaders that have showed up here today. We applaud you. We are appealing, and you came. You showed because you cared. But to our faith leaders, our teachers, our activists, and our elders, the time for silence has passed. Wisdom must rise. It must rise in the barbershop. It must rise at cookouts, in schools, and on the corners, and in our churches. We can no longer wait for someone else to save our communities. We are the ones that we have been waiting for. Florence, we may be broken, but we're not broken, we're bruised. But we're still standing. And from this place of pain, we will rebuild peace. Together, I ask each of you today, what will you do to stop this horrific violent crime, gun violence, what will you do to help us stop that? The streets are watching. Our children are listening. Let's make sure they hear something worth following. Now, with hope and with strength and with a deep love for our community, I appeal to each of you today. I pray like never before, and I pray that you will pray that the hearts of those who are committing these crimes will change. I thank you from my office, as mayor, and our city council. We will now call up Chief Heidler.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you a brief update on some of the things that we have going on in regards to the shooting in the 100 block of East Rough Fork Street. You may have received a notice from Captain Starling. He sent it out to all of your media outlets, but we have secured a warrant for Floyd Anthony Dingle. He's also known as Mookie. This individual is charged with attempted murder, possession of a weapon during a violent crime, possession of a weapon by a convicted felon, and breach of peace, high and aggravated. His victim is clinging to life. He's in critical condition. What is concerning to me is this individual was out on bond for a previous attempted murder. These are the type of things that the mayor is talking about. We all need to work together, and we need to work within the judicial system, and we're going to be getting together with our solicitors, judges, and others to talk to them about the things they can do to help us out in law enforcement. If you come to Florence, I can tell you, I've talked to the sheriff throughout the investigations that they have. They've had 3 shootings this weekend, and they have made 3 arrests. The fact of the matter is, you come to Florence and you commit a crime, you're going to get arrested. And we're going to do it. We're going to do our jobs. But we need the help of the community, just like the mayor talked about. The sheriff and I have a violent crime task force that has been recognized last year and this year in 2023 and 2024 by the National Criminal Enforcement Association. Last year in California, this year in Charleston, for removing the most guns off the street under the national conditions. Top team. Our little team here in Florence. We are working it. We have developed a PD Law Enforcement Criminal Intelligence Council. We get together with other agencies throughout the PD region, and we talk about crime and the crime that's flowing not just within Florence City and Florence County, but those things that are coming from other counties surrounding us. So we're working, we're doing our jobs. Criminals need to know that come to this area or are from this area that we are going to solve a crime if you're involved in it. We also enjoy the support of our city council. Council has graciously embraced technology within the police department. We have numerous flock cameras that are up right now, and so does the sheriff's office. And those flock cameras are tag reading cameras. And we're utilizing them to solve a multitude of cases. We got all of our flock cameras. We entered into an agreement like last March. By July of last year, all the flock cameras were up. From that point until March of this year, from July until March 1st of this year, we arrested 48 fugitives utilizing flock. Flock identified 48 fugitives in vehicles. We were also able to solve 38 stolen vehicles. We recovered 38 stolen vehicles, 35 stolen tags, 7 individuals that were missing were located, and over 120 criminal cases were solved by the use of that flock system. So understand, we're working together with the sheriff's office, They have the flock cameras. We also have a first responder drone program where a drone will fly autonomously and give us information. And that will begin in early summer of this year. But we're working together with the sheriff's office. We enjoy a great relationship with them, and we're doing everything we absolutely can to make this the safest city that we possibly can. But I want, again, our criminals to know that you commit the crime, it's going to be solved. We're going to find it, and we do.
So I want to open it up for questions. If there are those that would love to ask questions, the floor is open at this time. Yes.
How do you resolve the bond issue? Because they have, if you were charged, you have the constitutional right to a bond and your freedom.
Mm-hmm.
How is that resolved so that the worst of the worst aren't out there continuing to commit?
Like Chief Heidler said, that is where we work with our court system, and with our judges, and with our solicitors to, for the ones who are committing murder or attempted murder, to make sure that they stay behind bars, because we are finding out that these are reoccurring criminals. So that is just hard work and hard effort that we have to take here as our police force and as council, as city leaders, to work with our judges again and our prosecutors to make sure that we are keeping these criminals behind bars so they cannot get out on bond and create another crime or create another situation that is detrimental to our community.
I want to add that too. I'd like to add that too as well, Councilman McCall. I want to be a little more stiffer than that as well. We review our judges as they come up. I think it's every other year. I think we have been very transparent with them about how we wanted the city of Florence to be viewed in regards to violence. And so for the chief to tell us that this is a act that is from a repeated occurring criminal, I think that's something we'll have to review. So again, we'll be addressing when it's time to renew our judges, those repeat criminals and those repeated offenders. And so again, I think everybody has been clear and transparent that we wanted to make sure that we keep violent criminals off the street. And to hear that discerning fact, that's something we'll have to address, of course. So thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Yes. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I know you guys kind of emphasize it's a community effort, with club owners, everyone in the community, churches, etc. Is there anything else that you guys can do as a council and a city government, or that you guys plan to do to address the violence issues, or anything that you have kind of in the works, or any ideas?
There are a lot of things that we're going to do. There are a lot of, I gave you all, for a while now, a 5-point plan, but we have in this room, I think, about 6 pastors. We will form a partnership with churches. And, I'm just super excited to see them coming through the door. When they were coming through the door, I'm like, reinforcement has arrived. And so I'm super, super excited because they connect with the people. When we have all of the different entities that touch our community, we're on one accord, and that's a big task. And so that's one of the things that we will do. But oftentimes, we look to the same people to resolve a problem, but the missing piece is those community people that can tangibly touch those and have influence on those who are committing the crime. And so we are, with everything we have, asking them to please help us solve this problem. Their grandmothers and aunties and family members are living in the same community that they are destroying. And so we want them to just think about what they are doing. But we will have our camp that will go on this summer. We have incentives that we are doing for the police. We are doing bonuses with our police so that they will have longevity. When you have longevity, you have wisdom that stays among you. There are so many other. What else am I leaving out? Community policing. We will have the CT team. The CT team we're doing. So there are, but we're not limited to what we have before us. We're looking for even more ways. Whatever we must do to make our community safe, we will not say that this is normal, because it's not. Living in peace is normal. That's what we're supposed to be living in. And so whatever, am I leaving something out? Am I leaving something out?
I want to say one thing, Mayor.
Yes.
That policy alone is not going to solve this crime problem.
Mm-hmm.
We need the community. If you see something, if you see something, please say something. We need to get that reported. There's so many families that want to say some stuff, but they can't. We urge you guys to please, when you see something, say something. That's what's going to help our police department be on top of a lot of the crimes. Again, policy cannot solve this alone. It takes the work of all of us. The police cannot solve this alone. It takes community participation, neighborhood associations, watching out for one another. We need all of that to keep our community safe. Public safety is all of our top priority.
Sure.
Yes, and thank you, Councilwoman. And I just want to say that we have a victim protection program within the City of Florence Police Department. We have a means of protecting an individual's identity, much like we protect the informants, the confidential informants. So we are utilizing that program to protect victims up to the time of the trial.
Do you have your phone number that people can call in?
The non-emergency number is 843-665-3124. That's 843-665-3124, and that will give you a dispatch, non-emergency.
Can the judge condition their bond so that they cannot be in the clubs if they're out on bond, which would give you, the police, another tool to keep it, once again, get them off the street?
Yeah, the parameters from which, I don't know what parameters that they operate under in regards to that, but I would assume that they could put stipulations like that on there. I'm not sure. Sorry.
Yeah, they can, but typically, you know, we are just a policy agency, but they have to have judicial independence, and typically it's kind of unconstitutional to restrict people's movement outside of just no contact with the victims. But that is a good idea, but I do think they do have to have their own judicial independence when making that decision. But we want to be clear that we don't want to be letting violent offenders out on bond to recommit another crime.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I have a question. You said, Councilman McCall, about the judges allowing bond for repeated offenders. How many judges are there for the city of Florence?
We have one full-time judge, that's Chief Judge Woodson, and we have how many part-time? Six part-time judges, and they all rotate throughout the week. But the full-time judge is our chief, and the other part-time ones rotate. But they all do set bonds for criminal court.
So when you posed that question about, somebody having an answer for that, which one were you referring to?
Well, let me be clear. I don't want to say someone has to answer for it.
Okay.
I just want to say we will review that process because I do think everyone was clear in our parameters of what we were looking for. But I can't definitively say that one action is a problem. But because they have to have judicial independence, I think it has to be a comprehensive review to make sure we're putting our best foot forward for the city.
Now, the county magistrates cannot set bond for certain charges. They have to refer it to a certain circuit court judge. Are the city judges constrained in the same way?
Yeah. Well, so the only thing that cannot be set is murder. Murder and burglary first-degree charges. Those are the only things that cannot be set. Everything else can be set by a county magistrate or a city court judge. but just those particular charges. So attempted murder is not a capital offense, so therefore bond can be set. However, I think in these type of trying times, we don't want to see people out on attempted murder and do the same thing again. So, but bond can be set for an attempted murder, but not for a murder charge. Yeah.
Yes.
Aside from the shooting yesterday morning, all these shootings in the past week were in the county. Why is it important for the city to step in, and are there any efforts you all have to work with the county on those community efforts?
I think
Yeah, it's very important because we work so closely together and because the shootings were so close to city limits. And like I said before, I talked about the PD Criminal Intelligence Council that we have every month, a meeting. That's very important to us to get together with law enforcement, and we work so closely with the sheriff's office. The information that they get is going to correspond to something that's going on in the city. So we have that great relationship with them. The sheriff and I were in communication during the entire time that they were involved in that, once he was able to communicate with me while they were busy. We spoke about that. We've spoken about the shooting we had yesterday morning and how we're going to respond to certain things.
We will open up to the public. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, my question is a little bit different, but it's the guns. But is there a way they could patrol the park like in North Florence? Because my grandson and great grandson one day they were on the park playing ball, and a guy pulled out a gun, and they came running home, to my house. But they said they saw the gun. So I don't know if anything happened after that. I just told Mr. don't go back down there. So they didn't go back that day, but they went back a couple of days later. But I'm just saying, is there any way the cops could like patrol it every now and then just to check parks out?
I'm going to let Chief Hyla answer that, but one thing I can say, it is impossible for the police to be everywhere at all times. And so that's the reason for this call today, because they can't be everywhere at all times. Because I know Chief Hyla is going to say they are patrolling, and right now they are patrolling a lot because of a lot of things that are going on. However, we need Councilman Neesmith Jackson say you see something, you say something. It is very, very important that we get phone calls, because if they don't know about this, oftentimes because we become immune to it, we see it and we say, just go home, just stay away, and there's never a phone call. Chief Hyla, did you want to add something to that?
Mayor, you basically covered everything that I was going to say. But your grandson came home and told you about this incident. I think it's important to understand even. Right.
They took off running, so I guess they didn't see what was left after that.
Right. But that would have been a good time, and a lot of folks don't think that is important to let us know about that. But that would have been a good time to go ahead and call us. You don't have to give your name. I mean, they'll be asking you for all of that, but you really don't have to give the information. All you can say is, I have a grandchild that saw something in a park and an individual pulled a gun. And if they can tell you what the person looked like, just give them the description of that. And that'll put our officers in that area, and if nothing else, you've got that visible blue and white that's in the area and may deter something.
Yes, sir.
Just two questions. How will the city measure the effects of 5-point crime plan and what benchmarks have been set, as well as for the members at large? How do you plan to balance the diversity of these needs while addressing the concerns of people throughout the city that there is a belief of over-policing in their community and non-policing in other communities?
Well, one of the things we're mitigating all the time is with our communities is the neighborhood watch associations. In the areas where we have the greatest amount of violent crime is where we actually have the greatest participation. So we're letting our folks know in those neighborhoods what's going on, what we're doing, the operations we're having, why you see us stopping vehicles, why we're patrolling, and we are encouraging them to do the same thing that the councilwoman and other folks have said here. You see something, say something. And that's where we can really get into the community and do that, and we encourage folks to participate in those neighborhood associations. And what was the first part of that question?
Will there be measurements and benchmarks released by the police of the effect of these new 5-point plans so that we can see exactly what's going on?
Well, certainly the measurement will be the normal measurement that you would see, and that would be the crime levels. Has there been a reduction in crime? Are we seeing success in these areas? And that will be done by year-on-year basis. And we're seeing success in regards to the our task force. We're seeing a lot of success with the task force, and that's measured obviously by the number of weapons that we've taken off the street in this area, and getting nationally recognized for that.
That answered all of your questions? Yes, yes, ma'am.
Is it confined to one area? I live in the north side area, and lately there's been a lot of gun shooting going in that area. Is it gang related, or have you decided, what's going on between Rockport Street, Bradford, Wilson Street, Robert Street? It seems to be confined in those areas.
Yes, ma'am.
What are we finding?
Well, yes, a multitude of what we deal with has to do with drug operations, whether it's gang related or not. Often it's difficult to tell whether somebody's in a gang or not, but we have a very astute special investigations unit which consists of narcotics officers, and they are regularly developing information, and they too are working with the sheriff's office as well as the federal government and the DEA and the FBI. And we're working diligently to identify members that are gang members. So yes, we're working very diligently in identifying those. But the task force is in those areas on a regular basis, and they've actually done a lot to reduce the number of shootings.
Very good. Thank you.
Is that it? Okay, for those members who did not get a chance to speak, are there anything that you want to say? Okay, so our
I would say something real quick.
okay,
I can pull it, I can try to talk loud.
okay.
I would just like to reiterate the fact that, again, from the council side, we are investing heavily into our law enforcement. We are trying to provide the needed technology to assist with the chief. But I would like to stress the fact that, again, the chief, the sheriff, they can all do their job as much as possible. But if these, again, recurring offenders are let out the following day with cheap bonds and no, again, slap on the wrist, then what good does it do from the from our again, the policing standpoint? So I do, again, wish that we could do, again, or reiterate the fact that our justice system does, again, need to tighten up on some of these instances, because, again, they are arresting the same folks over and over again, which, again, I think is why we are here today, just ask the community support as well. So please, again, thank you all for being here. We do need you guys' help heavily.
I'm George Gervais, also a member of council, and as the mayor said and other council members have said, we as a council have a high priority to address the crime issue, and the 5-point plan on crime is not a be-all, end-all to address your question. It is simply a beginning point. It's a jumping off point. It's a place to get started from. But what was said earlier by Councilwoman Denise Smith Jackson, as well as the mayor and others, is it takes everybody. What do they say? It takes a village to raise a child. You know that, right? It takes everybody to be involved. And if you see something, as was said before, say something. If those communities, those high crime area communities, folks know who the troublemakers are. Who the people are that's causing problems. It's not everybody. It's usually a handful of people. And folks know who those handful of people are usually. Say something. If you have an opportunity, protect those grandmamas, protect those aunties, protect all those others, those loved ones in the community who are the vulnerable. Listen, you have vulnerable adults, you have vulnerable innocent children, and those individuals, the stray bullet that hits a child, right? These children, these adults, they need protection. And the way to protect is to speak up and say something. We all have a responsibility, all of us, collectively. And police are doing a masterful job. They can't do it by themselves. City Council, I'm so proud of every member of City Council for working together on this. But we can't do it by ourselves either. Staff is doing an amazing job. They can't do it by themselves. It takes all of us working together, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's the call that the mayor has made. That's the reason for being here, is to say to our community, to say to our citizens, we need your help. We need your involvement. We need your input. We need for you to be involved to help solve this problem. Thank you.
Okay. I think that being said, I think that brings our press conference to an end, unless if there's no other questions. After this, I want to reiterate, spiritual leaders, thank you so much for being here. And I pray that we will today begin something where we get some things going, something that we can do to help better our community. So again, for all of you that have come today, thank you. We know that you are just as concerned as we are. So you all have a blessed day. Thank you.